Good idea, right? Good idea. You guys are on top of things around here. I love it. All right. We're going to be able to pay the loan off so much faster that we're probably going to save a few $100,000. So because Scott was thinking outside the box and willing to take the extra step, he's going to save me a few $100,000. So I want to first of all say thank you to Scott Steele. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But also just to our 21st Century Lending team, Latanya, like we have such an amazing team here. Give them a shot. Let them think outside the box and make sure that they're doing some wonderful things. And then just get involved. There's so much opportunity out there. I'm so excited for all the things. I've been traveling around, going to all these different offices, and my voice is still working because I'm so ramped up for all the opportunities. So remember one thing, greed is good. Okay, greed is good. So when all these real estate agents who aren't working decide to come back in a couple months, I want them to come back to nothing because you took all of their people. Greed is good. Go steal their database, build your own business, and let's have a phenomenal rest of this month and kicking off the rest of 2026. Let's go.
All right. Hey, real quick. San Mateo did not sound that hyped. I don't know about you guys. Robert, killer job. My voice is a little bit deeper than yours. I'm really excited about that. Let's hear it in Santa Maria, baby. There we go. We are back. All right, I'm going to announce next from 21st Century Lending, the stud muffin, Mr. Alex Berdalis. Let's get it, baby.
On. Thank you. Hey, Robert, I promise that when we're all done here, Blake will buy you lunch, Robert. But that was a great layup there. Thanks everyone for allowing me 2 seconds to speak in front of you. I want to start off with February is an amazing month for us so far. Rates are doing well for us. Files are moving, real estate's moving. I'm excited for what the next quarter is going to look like, right? Blake and I are consistently talking about what it is we can do for you guys. I want to learn more about your business. As I come in and visit every single one of you, please share with me what it is that we at 21st Century Lending can do for your business. We're here to help you grow. That's our main focus, is help your growth, right? As I'm talking about growth, one of the things that we got exciting that's happening on February 23rd at 11 a.m., Cal Halfa is doing a special presentation for us at 21st Century Lending on the Dream for All. Please join us. Bring your clients. Make sure that you guys captivate this moment. It's important. This is another way to set you up for the next 2-3 quarters to come. Matt, floor is all yours.
Oh, thank you, Ben. All right. Thank you so much, Alex. If you want to sit down right there. There we go. All right. I am back, baby. All right. Hey, today we have some special stuff we're going to be going over. My dad, my brother, and I are going to go over some stages of discipline, and it will all tie in. I promise you guys will like what we're talking about. So a way to become your better self, right? Everyone want to become your better self? All right, perfect. Hey, let me ask you guys a question. I want to the chat too. How many of you guys played sports in high school or college? Raise your hand. And in chat, put what sports you guys played. Neil, don't lie. I know you play pickleball now. That doesn't count for high school and college. Anybody, kind of sports did you guys pitch them out? I can tell you played badminton. Football, wrestling, Nate, tennis. Okay, tennis. We got to play pickleball soon. Basketball. Okay, anybody else? Cheerleader. Okay, we might get close. All right. Very, very good. How many of you guys would say, hopefully got some cool ones in there. We got to play some tennis. I like that. It's hard finding a tennis player. How many of you guys would say that helped build a foundation for you kind of early on in life, whether it's relationships, whether it's business, whether it's having children, whether, it's just being a better person? How many of you guys would say that kind of helped you, right? The formation. My wife always jokes. My wife, Taryn, and I actually dated in high school, and I broke up with her because I was too busy with sports, and she still holds it against me to this day. So, and I'm glad she's not on this call because she would definitely say something. But a little bit backstory for me. I played water polo in high school and college, and if you know anything about water polo, it's a very, very aggressive sport. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, swimming in the off season, water polo during the season. So my day started at 4:30 every morning with my dad, Randy. You guys all know who Randy is, right? with a loud blender in the morning at 4:30 a.m. blending a protein shake so I can drink it on my way to practice, because practice started at 5 a.m. Practice go to 7. I get ready for school, go to school all day. After school, I would go to practice again till about 4 p.m. Go home, maybe take a nap, do my homework, and then go to club swimming at nighttime, and then wake up, repeat. And then on the weekends, I had tournaments. So really didn't have time for those relationships. But what it helped me with was kind of build a foundation. And you know, when you do that over and over and over again, do you guys think you'd get good at something? Yeah. Right? My senior year, actually, take it back a little bit. My junior year, my shoulder started dislocating, so I actually had to have surgery, reconstructive surgery on my labrum, and came back. Was able to become the captain of the team the next year, and we actually won CIF. So it was a huge win for me. But that transitioned for the rest of my life, whether it's business, right? I mean, that type of discipline can go all the way through your life, whether it's business, whether it's family, having kids. Anybody in here have kids? Does that take a lot of discipline? When they touch the burner and you tell them no one time, do they stop after one no? Right? It takes discipline as a parent, right? So getting Bree this morning, I told her, I said, where are you? We're at the gym this morning. She didn't show up to the gym. So next time she's going to be at the gym, right? I actually did something with all my directors, and I laid out, we wanted to do like a health fitness thing for all my sales directors. So Tessa, Pamela, and everybody else. Robert didn't want to do it because he just can't compete in that level. But we wanted to do something as a team. And so I sent them like a full breakdown of like different things that you can do, because I'm kind of a health fanatic outside of business. Like when it comes to like vitamins and stuff like that, I like to research that stuff. I'm the last guy, I hope, in my life to ever get cancer. So I figure out everything to make sure I don't get it, right? And it's funny because I challenged them, and Tessa is actually on her 4th day of fasting right now, guys. She hasn't eaten for 4 days. Yeah. And what I will recommend, if you do the time I did my fast, it was the week of Thanksgiving. Do not do that the week of Thanksgiving, because that Wednesday, you're going to have a potluck at work, and you're going to have to smell that the whole day. And trust me from experience, it will drive you crazy. So whatever you do not do that. A couple of things I want to go over with you guys, and it will tie in to why it works for you guys for real estate, okay? The first one is the 4 key components of a healthy lifestyle: nutrition, exercise, mind, and spirit. Everyone agree? Yeah. Right? How many of you guys, and on chat, wake up every single morning, and you've heard this, you drink ice cold water, maybe with first thing when you wake up? Do you guys know why that's important? Huh? Coffee does not count. You should wait 30 minutes after you wake up to drink coffee. Do you guys know why that's important? Do you guys know your body fasts all night? Like your body's actually fasting, your cells are rebuilding all night and attacking bad cells all night. So when you wake up in the morning, you drink water, it kickstarts your metabolism. So now you can start focusing on your. So if you're one of those people that like to wake up, go to Neil Schwartz and Hunter and the Description Role Play and actually really dive into that, your brain, your focus will be better if you guys actually do that. You'll notice a change in your morning. How many of you guys wake up groggy in the morning? Anybody? You guys wake up primed every single morning? There's no way. Yeah. I know Blake doesn't wake up just ready to rock. I have to call him like, Blake, let's get our ass in gear. Let's go, right? Let's go. Every single day. It's a challenge every day. But we do it. It's part of my routine and it's discipline, right? I know I need to call Blake every single day and say, Blake, let's get dressed nice today. Let's shave a little bit, and I've added a few people to that list. Eddie Cisneros, you're next. I'm going to be calling you. We're going to make sure we trim him up. So that is a big deal. Let's try that tomorrow. Wake up, ice cold water. Okay, guys, just try it. First thing when you wake up, drink ice cold water. You can add lemon to it. I promise you'll notice the difference. How many in this room do a probiotic and prebiotic? 4. Okay. How many of you guys eat yogurt? Okay, so that's a probiotic, prebiotic. Don't add a bunch of sugar to it, though. Yogurt's good for you. That does help. Any of you guys add a shot of apple cider vinegar or a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar? Pamela does. Okay, good. Do you guys know the benefit of that? Right? Helps with your insulin levels for your blood sugar. Do you guys do that every single day? If you're one of those people that maybe crash throughout the day, I think we all kind of have that sometimes. If you're a common energy drinker, if you insulin levels are spiking, and so you're starting to come down, or you just had too big of a lunch, right? That kind of stuff happens too. Don't go to all-you-can-eat sushi every day. You're going to crash, right? But if you guys do the apple cider vinegar, what's nice about that is it keeps your insulin levels level, and so throughout the day, you're going to actually have more energy and focus. And why does this pay off for real estate? Right? Because we're calling in the morning, we're doing showings in the afternoon, right? You want to have energy, Do people like people that don't have good energy? Right? So it does help. And, and there's also a lot of gut health to that too, guys. I'm sure all of you guys have seen all the research where it goes, your gut health is like the key component to your body. If you have good gut health, you'll live a long and healthy life. I promise you. The number one cancer right now for people under the age of 49 is colon cancer. It's actually the number one killer. Everyone doesn't know that. It's a new study that just came out. Gut health is very, very important, guys. So probiotics, prebiotics, apple cider vinegar shot. I promise you, it will help you guys, okay? All right, cut late night food. Smoking, if you're a smoker, okay, I'm not going to tell you not to smoke. You do your thing. Excess drinking late at night. How many of you guys have done that and you wake up feeling great? No? Right? It's you're not taking shots and then like ready to go. I don't know about you guys. The older I got, the worse it got. So definitely not my go-to anymore. But that will also help with acid reflux. If you're one of those people that is up all night because you have massive acid reflux and you're popping Tums all the time, Tums cause, I think it's gallstones or something like that. Yeah, kidney stones. Guys, it's not good to have to do that to be able to get through a night's sleep. So if you don't drink late at night alcohol, and if you don't eat junk late at night, you're going to wake up refreshed. You're going to be able to make your calls in the morning, go out prospecting, and do your job at the best of your capabilities. Everybody, that sounds good, right? All right, in the chat, does that sound good? Tiffany, I haven't seen you once. Neil, your mic has not been unmuted for the last 10 minutes. I needed to be unmuted. Let's get it. There we go. All right. Another fantastic practice I recommend, and this is for all of you guys, the mental test. How many of you guys wake up and give yourself an affirmation every morning? Yeah, right? It's a big deal. Honestly, there's so much negativity in the world. If you're on any type of social media, it's very, very negative, and you can get kind of lost in it, right? Especially if you're a political person. It can get, whatever side you're on. No matter what, it's negative, right? If you watch the news, everything's negative. Wake up. I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to kill it today. I'm going to get a new listing today. What you say you are in your head, I'm telling you. If you guys tell yourself every single day, I'm going to kick ass today, or I'm going to go crush it, or I'm going to make 50 calls, I'm going to get a listing appointment today. How many of you guys really think if you do that every single day that you're not going to get a listing appointment? You will, right? We got Taryn over here. She has her test this weekend for her NMLS test. I know right now in her head, she's like, I got this. I'm going to freaking do it. The day of her test, she's going to wake up and say, I'm going to pass that test today, right? And that's the mindset. That's the mindset. She's going to do it. That's what she said. All right. That's good. Pray, meditate, or hit church. Anybody in this room pray, meditate, or hit church? Let's hear it in the chat. Any of you guys, that's very important to you. Right?
I got an amen.
Yeah, you got an amen. You know why that helps? It helps with the rejection. It really does. If you pray, meditate, and you go to church, it helps with the rejection. I don't care who you are. The message you're going to hear at church, whatever you believe in, is going to help you with that type of rejection. It's like water off a duck. I promise you, it will really help. Meditation is also key. I'm not a big meditator, but affirmations are like my go-to. I do affirmations every single morning. I stretch every single morning. It's a big deal. It helps you guys, right? If you have hip pain, do you know going in a squatting position? This is way off. I'm going ADHD. If you go, because I used to have really bad sciatic nerve pain. I'm sure some of you guys in here have that. If you actually go in a squatting position, just squat for 20 seconds every single morning, it will help your hips. It will prolong your hips a certain amount of years just by going in a squatting position for 20 seconds every single morning. Little stuff, right? That's what all this is. It's little stuff to keep you guys going, keep you guys successful in real estate. That's what it's all about. I wrote down here, and this is something I've heard a lot. I think, Robert, you brought this up a lot, or Neil's brought this up. I know Armani, him and I talk a lot about this stuff, but everyone here, any of you guys have a sales job before you got into real estate? By show of hands. Okay. Retail. Anybody? Retail. I worked at Nordstrom's and I sold cell phones. So, I get it. Retail, right? People come to you. You have to sell them. You have to upsell. Anybody in the chat work retail or outside sales before you got into real estate?
Tupperware.
Tupperware. That's not a retail. That's not a sales job. Just joking.
I got a Verizon.
Yeah.
I got water there.
Okay. Verizon's a good one. Yeah. Okay. Sold cell phones. Yeah. A lot of cell phones. There we go. Yeah. So for those that sold cell phones, or for those of you guys that have been in sales outside of this, we all have that one person, like a new real estate. Real estate is a sport. I don't know about you guys. It's a sport to me. It's a competition every single day. I don't care what you guys say. You want to beat the person next to you. It's simple. But we all have that person that comes in and gets really, really lucky, or maybe they have a good natural skill. Any of you guys ever seen that person that comes in and gets like 3 deals in their first month? Even in cell phone sales, you have the person come in, they're the number one sales agent in the first month. We all know that doesn't last, right? right? I mean, how many of those people that have come in and they're buying into everything? Because tenure could be a really, really good thing, or tenure could be a really, really bad thing. If you have a lot of tenure in a sales position, you can have really bad, lazy tendencies, right? Everybody agree? If you're new into a sales position, you have no tendencies at all. You can learn a lot, or you could just be so new you don't give a rat's butt, right? And you're not good at it. Some people just have that it factor. It's that kid on the baseball team. It's that kid on the baseball team that all the other kids surround, right? He just has the it factor, right? But throughout history, that kid, if he doesn't become disciplined and he doesn't continue to practice as hard as everyone else, people start passing him as time goes on, right? It's the same thing in real estate. It's the same thing in all sales jobs. If you guys aren't disciplined, you're not going to have a great year. You're not going to have a great life. You're going to have a great month. That's great, right? But if you can be disciplined and do this stuff over and over and over again, show up every single day. Trust me, my dad, my brother, myself, my mom, we show up every single day. If you guys want to know who's working every single day of every single week, and normally, I mean, I'm telling you the truth, my dad is probably the first one in the office every single day, and you guys see his Facebook group or his Facebook stuff. He's up at 3 a.m. for some reason, but he also is the last one to leave the office every single day. He does a thing for alcoholism, for AA, throughout the week for hundreds of men. And he sponsors hundreds of men. So he's at the office, and most of these meetings are at our offices. And so he's there at 8 a.m. in the morning, or earlier than that, 6 a.m. in the morning, calling and texting us already. And then he doesn't leave till like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. That's discipline. I'm not saying that's what you guys need to do to be successful, but if you guys want to work a company that is disciplined, I promise you, this is the company. That's what we do, right? I'm just trying to get tested to do it also. So we're gonna get there. I'm just kidding. All right, so who's ready to fall in love with some discipline? Anybody? All right, let's see some smiles. Yeah, okay, that's good. All right, let's hear it. So what I want you guys to do in the chat, one thing you guys are committing to today to start doing for the rest of the year. And Keith, I need you to pay attention. Little robot, but what is one thing you guys are committing to today? I want to hear it. And what do we got here, guys? Yeah, it's hot in here. Okay, good. I thought I was holding one, dude. I took 5 espresso shots before I came up here. That was not smart. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, we got to do that. We got to fix that. So the goal today, and what you guys are gonna hear from Randy, and what you guys are gonna hear from Keith, is how do we build unstoppable agents, right? How do we gonna build you guys up to where you guys are the best at what you do? We crush the competition. Keller Williams go bankrupt, Remaxes go bankrupt, and we become the #1 real estate offices in all of California, and you guys are the winners that come out of it. What do we gotta do? Let's start today, all right? Let's get it. All right. All right. Mr. Randy Thompson, are you ready for us? You're muted. I don't know if you can see how hot it is here.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Jesse, what are we doing? We getting good? Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, really good job, Matt. Really good job. You know, so there was a time in my life I weighed 390 pounds. There was a time in my life I smoked. My son, Matt, he used to get my cigarettes and he'd empty out my cigarettes. And then when I'd go to get my pack, they'd all be empty. They'd be there, but they'd all be empty. There'd be no tobacco in them. So Matt's been the one in our family that's always pushed for the discipline. And, you know, it took a heart attack, and it took some ablations. It took some shock treatments. It took a lot of stuff for me in the last 4 years to change my lifestyle. So it was 6 times in 14 months they were in my heart. So that was a game changer for me. So I went on this journey. So Matt was the guy that went on the journey with me. He kept saying, "Dad, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this." So I followed that journey, and you know, just yesterday was the first day in my life since high school that I went under 200 pounds. You know, I got on the scale last night just to check it, and I was still under 200 pounds. I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? So some of our core values have to do with relationships, and I'm going to talk about relationships a little bit today because I'm an expert on relationships, how to do them right and how to do them wrong. You know what I mean? So I have a ton of relationships in the AA industry, Alcoholics Anonymous. I've been sober. Next month will be 24 years. So I work real hard with young men. I don't sponsor women. I only sponsor men and young men and older men, and that's what I kind of do. And Matt's right. that's what I get back from. That's God gave me a gift, and I use it. So that's what I do to help the young men in this world. You know, get their families back, get the lights back on. You know, when I see those lights come back on a young man and he gets his family back and all that stuff, that's building a relationship. And guess what that relationship's going to do? They're going to buy a house from me. They're going to do their loans through me. And when I started this company, that's how I built this company. We started having meetings in my office, and we had all the old boards that were up there that had all the listings on them, right? And the guys would come in and they'd be looking up at that board and they'd go, "That house over there is only, I can buy that for $550,000." Yeah, you can. Instantly, that became a relationship. Then I met their families, their kids, and stuff like that. I was president of Little League for 6 years out in our area. I built tons of relationships with that, right? I mean, I had what we have, like 1,300 kids, 1,400 kids in our area, and I knew all the parents. I was at all the fields and doing all that. I built all those relationships. Today, I can be walking through, and this was years ago when my boys are young, because now Keisha's turning 41 on Saturday. He'll be 41 years old. That's his birthday. And we through Little League and stuff like that, I built a ton of relationships, right? Those relationships still go on today. Those young men come up to me, they'll see me in the market, they go, "Mr. Thompson, remember me?" Shit, it's been 30 years, right? No, I don't remember you. You know, and they'll go through the thing and what's going on, but they get a card. That's building a relationship. There's 3 types of relationships. Interpersonal relationships, which is with your family, your wife, you know, that type of stuff. There's professional relationships, which is what we all have. And then there's acquaintances. Our object is to take the acquaintances and make them into our professional relationships, which become our interpersonal relationships, become family. I'm one big thing that we're all one big happy family. Our company is a family-run company. It is what you'd call a personality company. It's more personality-driven than it is anything else. We like to stay away from the corporate part of that, right? So the object is, how can we build one of our core values? If you look at our core values, you ever read it, if you've ever read them, probably some of you haven't even looked at them, but one of the core values is the Randy. I kind of laughed when they put that up. That's how to build relationships. You know, talking with Matt, when we talk about spirituality and stuff like that, you know, I always use this because I have in the word spiritual is the word ritual, right? So you have to have a ritual to be spiritual. I don't care who you are. If you don't have a ritual, you're not spiritual. You got to have something you're doing. Matt hit it right on the nose. So every morning when I get up, when I hit the shower, sometimes I do the gym first, usually in my house, and then I hit the shower, I hit my knees, and that's where I pray. That's how I've been doing it for years. And then at nighttime before I go to bed, I take another shower, because I take 2 showers a day, and that's the same time. That's my prayer time. That's meditation, however you want to call it. That's where I meet God. I've been doing it for years. That's what I teach when I teach the guys in AA, when I would go through the steps with them. That's what I teach them too. I go, you have to have a ritual to be spiritual. So let's get this ritual down. You know what I mean? And so that kind of works through that. You know, I'm rough around the edges. I know it. I know you guys are going, what's he talking about? I'm rough around the edges, but I can't talk to the men that I deal with. You can't be soft with those guys. You got to be a little rough around the edges. So I know I can also be with Neil's wife said it the other day, because, you know, I can have a grudge for a long time. One of the things is I'm like an elephant. I don't forget. You know what I mean? I don't. And I'm working on that. That's one of my character defects I'm working on, because I can hold a grudge for, like the crow says, 17 years. The crow can hold a grudge against something for 17 years. I don't know how they figured that out, but that's kind of what it says. But crows live a long time. So I can do the same thing. So I've been working on relationships. One of them was with my brother. Me and my brother, we do the family stuff, and we do everything together. Don't get me wrong. We do whatever has to do with mom and all that. But years ago, there was a problem, and I've held that grudge for all these years. Then my dad died this last year. When my dad died, it would be February 28th, it would be 1 year. I had to start working on, because now we're right in the middle of it, I had to start working on that relationship. That's probably the hardest relationship I'm working on. You know what I mean? Trying to make that happen again. So what I'm trying to get across, if you're not going through your database and you're not working with a relationship, and you're not going to the market, I could go to the market and get a deal, guys. You know, yesterday I was in an office talking to a young lady, and she's probably on here, so I won't name her name, going over that stuff. She's been in the business a while. I said, so what are you doing? How are you doing? How are you getting your business? What are you doing? Well, I'm not really getting, you know, I had one deal, and they were supposed to use me, and then I found out they were in escrow with somebody else. You know, it's building that relationship and it's staying in touch with those people. I mean, all of us that have done business, we all have that cousin, brother, sister, or somebody that went into escrow on a new house and didn't take you with them. We all had it. That's just part of doing it. But when you build the relationships, you do the stuff you need to do, that relationship is going to last a long time. You know, I have a great relationship with business. I'm great at. Mike Ferry tells me all the time I'm one of the best chess players he's ever seen in business. I get myself put into positions with the top people across the country. I mean, Robert Refkin. I mean, we were the first company he came to see. Why is that? Because Mike Meter, the CEO, said, "You want to go meet the Thompsons?" That's our California company. You know, Liz, CEO, go meet the Thompsons. We did all that a few weeks ago. You know, I hang out with Greg Sexton. The people from Santa Ana, man, Rayton Edinger, there's no way possible a kid like me growing up in the area that I grew up should be hanging out with CEOs and COOs. Sometimes I start laughing. I want to tell them, do you know where I come from? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And they're asking me about what's going on in the market, what's going on in the business and doing like that. So I know if a kid like me can make it to this point where I'm dealing with this type of stuff, it's all about building the relationships. You know, I don't change. I'm who I am, rough around the edges, whether you call me, whether you do it. I'm going to tell you the truth because in my program, I have to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? So if you ask me how you look, you better look good because I'm going to tell you if you don't look good, you know what I mean? So I have to watch that with my wife. I say that all the time. Yeah, you look good today, Jesse, for the first time in a long time. So it's true. He's got a jacket on today, right? You know what I mean? Good job, Jesse. It took me a long time to get you to wear a jacket. So, you know, keep going after the relationships. Keep building relationships. The relationships are going to make you money. You know, and criticizing or doing whatever and telling the truth. I mean, relationships have bumps and bruises all the time. They all have bumps and bruises. Me and my brother had a bump and bruise. It's actually a freaking almost like a heart transplant. Now we're working on getting back, right? So, and that's Keith, because Keith, he does not like confrontation. Keith is not a confrontation guy. Matt, a lot of confrontation, you know, but he's more like his mama. But you know, pay attention to your relationships. They're the most important thing you got. And those acquaintances you met, pick up the phone, call them, give them a card. Don't stop there. Get their phone number. Call them in a few days. Say, it was nice to meet you. It was nice seeing you. Is there anything I can do in real estate? You know, Mike talks about it all the time, you know, but he's a little rough around the edges too. So when you hear it, you don't hear that soft side. But if you stay in touch with the people, you're going to get business. If you call your database, you're going to get business. If you keep going, you're going to get business. The people that aren't doing one deal a month, you need to start calling people because you don't have the discipline to do it. Matt's right with the discipline. Then you need the relationships. And then you're going to need what Keith says. So if you don't have the discipline, get off your ass. If I can get up in the morning and go to the gym every day, and now I'm running 5 miles at a time. I haven't run 5 miles since I had to in high school, you know, so in sports. So, and I actually enjoy it. I actually put my headset on and enjoy it, you know. So because if I can change, anybody can change, you know. And in today's world, there's a lot of ways to change ourselves, you know. I mean, there's medications out there to stop you from eating. You don't even like food, you know what I mean? About 3 days later, you go, I should probably eat something, you know what I mean? But keep with the relationships is a big part of that. And, you know, I love the relationships I built with all of my agents across the country, you know, because it is across the country. We travel a lot. And, you know, I have special relationships with everybody going across. And, you know, if you don't know me, call me. Everybody has a right to call me. I'm the broker. And I answer every time and I call back every time, you know. If you catch me on certain days, and lately there's been a lot of lost stuff going on, I'm a little grouchy, put a smile on my face. Say, hey, how's it going, Randy? And help me out a little bit too, because sometimes I could use a little bit of, you know, let's go, Randy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Tess? I know exactly what I mean. I'm going to turn this over to Keith now, I think. Thanks, guys. You got it?
All right, let's give it up for Mr. Randy Thompson, Papa Bear. All right. First off, happy Valentine's Day, Mom, because I know Dad hasn't said it yet, so I got you. That's the mama's boy. That's the mama's boy. That's the mama's boy. I gotta make sure. I gotta make sure. Yeah, now I'm starting shit, huh? Hey, yeah. So hey, listen, you guys, this is kind of a different tone for us, right? Like the reality is you're probably sitting thinking, okay, how's this all tying back to real estate? I think you guys have done a good job of kind of tying it back, but I think really what we wanted to do today was really just kind of get into the weeds and talk a little bit more about the act of discipline and the purpose and the meaning of discipline. And the reality is discipline is in many cases very simple, right? It's very simple, but it's not easy. Is that safe to say? Like it's simple to run 5 miles when you think about what it takes to run 5 miles. It's just 1 foot in front of the other a lot of times, but it's not easy, right? Because running 5 miles sucks. Like I've tried it. It's not fun. I didn't make it actually. I stopped. But that goes for everything in life. And when it comes to discipline, you know, I think, you know, my dad was able to share some things. My brother was able to share some things. And I will get emotional, so just an FYI. That's okay. Just bear with me, okay? I admitted it, but it's gonna come out and it's gonna be great. So, wow, I didn't think it was gonna start this early in this speech. Don't cry. Don't cry, Jesse. Don't cry. I need you, Jesse. You're my emotional support. Okay, so I posted about this earlier in the week. And I've been on this like discipline journey. I've been like really focused on incorporating little actions in my life that make my life better. And it started with drinking. I think that's why I'm getting emotional, because it's been such a big impact of my life. I will get there. But about 4 years ago, I got it. About 4 years ago, I decided to just quit drinking. And I've talked with a lot of you guys, and you guys will see me at like events. Oh, thanks. Look at that. Look at that. Ruth, baby, Ruth. So about 4 years ago, I talked with you guys at a lot of events. Some of you guys will come up to me. You're like, hey, let's get a shot or let's get a drink. And I'm like, no. And you're like, oh, party pooper. And it sucks. And trust me, I don't like telling you no, because I was the guy that was doing beer bongs from a 2-story fraternity house in Fullerton. I loved having fun and partying, and that was a big part of my identity for a very long part of my life. And I'm not going to get too deep into this story, but you know, I got to a point where alcohol was controlling. It was in control of me, and I wasn't in control. And it really sucked. And I told myself one day I had way too much to drink. I was at a winery, and I was with my brother, and I was with some other family members, and I drank too much. I saw red. One of my in-laws, who probably deserved most of what I said to her. I said everything. I said way too much, and it was inappropriate. It was in the wrong place. And I ended up at my brother's house, and I was like literally trying to fight him, because I thought that he was involved at some point. It almost wrecked our relationship, and it sucked really bad. And so I quit. The next day, I said, never again. I'm never going to drink again. And it was the best decision I made. And it was really freaking hard, because 3 months went by, and it sucked. I didn't know who I was. My identity was totally tossed. Like, I couldn't go to an event, and you know, people were having fun, and I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. But then 90 days later, I felt amazing. I was waking up after a night of hanging out with people, and I didn't have a hangover. I wasn't down for half the day. And I started to see the benefits that it had on my life. I started to see how I woke up and I wasn't fuzzy, how I was able to concentrate more. I was a better dad, I was a better husband, I was a better brother, I was better a lot of things. And it just got me into this position, guys, where I just became obsessed with discipline. And I started to, at that point, I realized after 90 days of not drinking, I lost a shit ton of weight. I guess there's a lot of carbs in beer. And so then my brother, my dad's right. He's always been super disciplined. So he's working out, he's getting all buff. So I started doing some push-ups and I just told myself, I'm going to do 50 push-ups a day. That's what I told myself. I'm not, I think it was like 23. I'm like, I'm not going to miss one day without doing 50 push-ups. And I did it every day. Sometimes it was like 11:45 at night. And there I am. My wife's like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm like, get on the floor. I'm 50 push-ups. And I didn't miss one day of, I think it was 2023. And it just kept spiraling. I kept picking up, a book or wanting to read or just doing something on a daily basis that was going to improve me. And guys, I'm telling you that when you actually start to incorporate those things into your life changes. Like wildly changes. And like work's never been an issue for me. I'm a workhorse. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I've always been successful in everything I've done from a work perspective because I prioritize that over most things in my life. And so I was always successful in that, but I wasn't successful in a lot of the other areas. And now that I've actually prioritized those areas, I'm even better at what I do. And so I think one of the main reasons we wanted to get in front of you guys and just share, and I'm sorry, I'm just such a fucking wreck, but one of the reasons we wanted to share was because I'm sure there's somebody out there, and I'm not going to look in any of your guys' eyes, but I'm sure one of you guys has something. Alcohol was mine, and maybe it's food, maybe it's your patience, maybe it's your spending habits, maybe it's I don't know, you're a gambler, you're addicted to something. Okay, maybe it's just something that you don't have control over it. It's got control over you. Whatever that is, I think it's really important that you face it. And I think that when you overcome that and you actually take control, that you're going to see that it's going to become a habit. It's going to become something that you become obsessed on, and it's going to improve your life. And that's what we want for you guys. I've been going to church a lot, and I think I've been on this like my latest thing that I'm doing is I read the Bible every day. I listened to an audio. It was like an app, and it basically I went through the entire Bible from start to finish, Genesis to Revelations. And I'm 40 years old. I'm about to be 41. Thanks for pointing it out. And I had never read the Bible. And I honestly, the more people I talked to, most people haven't read the Bible. I wasn't alone. I was sitting in church scratching my head like, who's that? Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And I read it and I realized that like I was missing something. I was missing purpose in life. And by reading the Bible, I realized that like our job, in my dad, my brother, and my job, is to help people. And I was scratching my head because I'm like, how are we going to help people? I'm like, we don't have enough time. Like we're working, family, volleyball on the weekends. Like I don't have any more time to like go to a soup kitchen. I really want to go to a soup kitchen. I just don't have any freaking time. And then I realized I'm like, I'm not supposed, like the soup kitchen would be great, maybe one day, but it's you guys. Like you guys you're the purpose. Like we are here to help you guys figure out life. It's not just business, it's life. And I hope that this helped in some way, shape, or form. So I'm sorry. Kiana, you're up next. Kiana's next. Here you go, babe.
All right, guys. Okay, how about we get the energy up? How are you feeling, Lana? Let's go. Okay. Everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Okay, so I am here to talk about our theme for the month of February, and that is relationships that close. And our focus is simple, and it is loving on your database, tying into what Randy was talking about earlier today. So February is all about connection. By better? Awesome. So February is all about connection. Your database is the greatest asset that you have. So the relationships that you're building now and nurturing are going to be the key to your long-term success in this business. So your sphere, your referrals, your client care, that's what's going to drive consistent closings. So everything that we're putting on the calendar ties directly into this theme of loving on your database. Tomorrow at 12:15, we have Tessa Hagwood, our girl out of the Central Coast. She is doing a training on how to avoid breakups over repairs. So all about protecting the contract in one of the most emotional and intense parts of the transaction. That is tomorrow at 12:15. On the 18th, we have our head of marketing, Brie Gonzalez. She is going to be doing a training on how to use Canva to market to your buyers and sellers. I talked to a ton of you guys today. You guys really want to learn how to use Canva. Good. You guys really want to learn how to use Canva. And so that is a great class to join. Again, that is the 18th at 12:15. And then on the 20th, we have Alex Holland. You're doing a class on cuffing season, from one deal to a long-term relationship. Does anyone know what cuffing season means? Yeah. I'll let Alex explain it to you. I actually already sat on this class. It's a fantastic one. And it ties in perfectly to our theme of living on your database, turning your clients into lifelong fans after the closing. So guys, every single class we're putting on the calendar is extremely intentional. We are seeing a spike in attendance in our online trainings, but we'd love to see a whole lot more. I know I talk slow. We'd love to see a whole lot more people join us online. So that is the end of our monthly connect. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, online and in person. So